Hi guys, welcome back to our video. Today's video is gonna be us talking about our labor, my labor and delivery.
What was that experience for us both?
We're gonna talk about our experience as first-time parents, how everything went down. Our previous video was my labor and delivery. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record every single moment, like every single, step, and I guess, because it was just a lot going on.
Yeah, and a lot of pain.
And everything just happened like way too fast.
Yeah.
So today we're just gonna talk about how everything went from beginning to end. And yeah, before we get started, give this video a big thumbs up for love, and let's get right into it. Okay, so this is how everything started, and I'm gonna try and keep it nice and short so this video is not 20 minutes long. So I started having contractions like pain, I think for like a week, right babe, or like a few days before the actual like pain, like a couple days before the pain.
I think it was a week.
I started having like lightning crotch, a lot of lightning crotch, like maybe like a week. And apparently some Braxton Hicks, which is like false contractions, I was told. April 16 of this year, I started having really bad pain, right baby?
Yeah. So
that day I told Ro, I was like, honestly, I think we should just go to the hospital, because I feel like this is not like normal, like this is So we go to the hospital, and they're like, oh, like you're only 1 centimeter?
No, yeah, you were 1 centimeter.
She was like, so she did her thing, and I was like, oh my god. Raul was next to me, he was like,
but they checked you a second time, and you went to
no.
Yeah.
The first time I was 1, that's why she sent me home.
Oh, okay, you talking about, okay.
Okay. So the first time she checked me, and I was only 1 centimeter. And I was in pain, but I could still kind of like walk. They said that you'll know when you can't walk, like you can't even fucking breathe.
It'd be hard for her to complete a sentence.
Yes. So I was in 1 centimeter, and she's like, yeah, like you have to be at least 5 centimeters for us to let you stay at the hospital. And I was like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We went home. At night, the pain continued. The next day, my mom flew in, because my mom got here April 17th, right? She was scheduled to come here
at 3 o'clock.
April 17th. So this is the crazy part of the story. I feel like every single thing that happened was meant to happen the way it did, because like of the timing, right? So April 17th, I wake up, right? I'm like, oh my god, my mom's coming. So I kind of like clean a little, like I'm still nesting, but I was in too much pain to finish, because I asked my husband, I was like, I need this done now. Like that's what nesting is, like you clean and you need it to be like spotless. So I literally went to bed, right? I was laying down, and I was like, babe, I can't go with you to pick up my parents, like I'm in too much pain. It was my mom and my brother. So my mom gets here around 3. Her flight gets here around 3.
It was like 2:30, and I got home at 3, something like that.
You got here like at 4. So my mom lands like around 3, 2:30, whatever. My husband picks them up, and she gets here with my brother like around 4. We're saying hi, we're like settling in. Around like 4 something, baby, the pain that I felt was just like, there's no way this is false contraction. I was like, babe, there's no way. Like I was getting contractions, and they were so painful that I literally had to like stop, grab onto something, and literally like not scream, but like I was screaming. I can't even say that I wasn't screaming, right babe? I was like, ah! And then my mom was like,
more like a grunt.
No, it was screaming, I'm telling you. So my mom, she tries to like massage my back. She just got here, she hasn't even unpacked. Like And this is the crazy part too. My husband had CQ, which is a 24-hour shift in the military. So he was like in and out because I'm pregnant, so they kind of like understand. But he was at a 24-hour shift. Like he was working the one day that I'm like having a lot of pain. So my mom gets here, my brother gets here. I'm having super pain, like I'm having really bad pain. My brother's like, what the hell is wrong with you? My mom is like so concerned. My husband he left, he went back to work. He dropped on my parents and then he went back to work. And then my mom's like trying to lay down, trying to take a bath. I was like, no, like there's no way. I have to go to the hospital right now. And I'm the type to like kind of let it, like my pain for, you know, my tolerance is pretty high, you know?
Yeah, so you kind of like just
I
letting it go on.
I kind of wanted to like stay at home as much as I can, but I could not. I don't know how women do it, babe. I don't know how they do it. So I called babe. I was like, babe, I need to go to the hospital right now. And this was literally, as he drops off my mom, he's literally parking in to go back into work.
Yeah.
He didn't even go back to work because I called him like, what, 10 minutes? You're 10 minutes from the house, right? Like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, babe, go hospital right now. He's like, okay. So he turns around. We already have everything packed. Everything was in the car. He turns around, he gets me, and we go straight to the hotel. We go straight to the hospital. This was me the whole time. First of all, I don't know why I had to have the windows down. We're like 30 minutes away from the hospital. This was me the whole time. I was like this. I was holding on. And every contraction got closer together and stronger. That's how I know. Because they said if your contractions are 5 minutes apart and they're coming in stronger, then you're like in labor or whatever. Every contraction, I was like that, and he was speeding, like the wind was hitting me, like it was just crazy, right? So we got to the hospital, and they're like, oh, why are you here? And I was like, I'm having really bad contractions. I'm 39 weeks pregnant. They're like, okay, we'll be with you in a second. Every 5 minutes, I was screaming in the hospital. The nurses, like, they checked me. The guy checked me, and he's like, oh, you're 2 centimeters dilated. So the doctor was like, I feel like he wasn't like sure if I should stay, right?
But he recommended that you stay though.
He recommended that I stay when he checked me again. When he checked me and it was 2 centimeters, he was like, I don't know, When they checked me again, stuff was already coming out.
Yeah, you had a slow leak.
They were like, your water hasn't broken, but it's leaking.
It's leaking,
And I was like, what the fuck? What does that mean? Like, this is very painful. Like, I just can't go home. There was no way in hell I was gonna go back home. I was gonna stay there. I was gonna be like, you need to let me stay and give me the medication that I need. So he was like, okay, I'm convinced. And he would hear me like freaking scream. He would try and talk to me about like consent and like the risk about epidural, C-section, sign everything.
Because you gotta choose your process for the whole situation, and you gotta sign an agreement stating that you chose epidural, because they can't just give it to you.
Yeah. So he was trying to talk to me, and I was like, and every 5 minutes I was like, ah! And he was like, he'll wait till I finish the pain, and then he'll talk to me again. And I was like, give me a paper, sign, whatever. So after that, they had to put an IV in me, you know, the whole process. They took me in a wheelchair to the labor and delivery room, and they put me on bed, and then they're like, hey, this is the person that's gonna give you the epidural. My husband was there with me the whole entire time. Like, he never left my side. So basically they said that you know, you have to stay here with the epidural and that tube, and you know, help you get to 10 centimeters so you can push, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine. I had the epidural. I was happy. I was like, you know, I'm not in pain. Like, I'm just laying there waiting. I could feel pressure down there. I could feel like fluid too, which was weird, but whatever. So they put me on my side for like an hour. Then they put me on my other side for like another, not an hour. Was it an hour?
It was like 30 minutes each side.
Yeah, like 30 minutes each side. And so this is around like 6, I want to say 7. Other doctors come in, and they're like, the same doctor that checked me, he was like, you're 2 centimeters. He came back in and they checked me again. And when they checked me, he was like, oh, you're 10 centimeters. Are you ready to push? And I was like, hello?
That was like at 10 something, right?
It was like around 10. So from 5 that we got to the hospital to 10, I reached 10 centimeters. From 2 centimeters, I reached 10. And the doctor was like, are you ready to have a baby? And I was like, yeah.
It happened so fast. The doctor was like, well, one of the nurses like, your body's like meant to have babies.
Yeah,
like that,
first of all, they were very much impressed with how fast I got to 10 centimeters.
And how well she was pushing too.
Yeah, this is
really
my
good.
first time. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I just did it. So a whole bunch of like nurses come in when I'm ready to push, right? I pushed, and then we waited for another contraction. And then they're like, okay, push, okay. You already know how it goes, right? Okay. So I push. I literally pushed for less than 30 minutes and Ariella was born. And this is the crazy thing. Ariella was born, not only was she born when my mom got here, literally hours after my mom got here, which I was literally praying for because we have 2 dogs and no one to watch them. And I would have been so stressed.
Went through the whole process.
So not only did my mom get here a few hours before she was born, she was born the same day that I reached 10, because I heard
on
like
Easter.
sometimes they she was born on Easter. She was born at 11:11 p.m., which is so crazy because if you know me, you know that that's my angel number. And I know that it's a lot of people's angel number because it's 11:11, but if you are close to me and you know me, you always know that every time I see 11:11, what do I say?
Oh, make a wish.
Always. That's just so crazy how the timing was perfect in a way.
Yeah.
So she was born 11/11. She was 5 ounces and 21 inches. It happened so fast that we just didn't really think of like, oh, let's just FaceTime people right now,
And I was holding one of my wife's legs and I was watching the whole time.
He was watching. He's so funny because he was right next to me, and when they were telling me to push, he wanted to look down there, but he didn't.
No,
and I could see him. I'm literally looking at him, holding him, and he's like,
no, so
he was more
I saw.
scared.
So I initially saw the top of Sky's head, and then I looked away, and then when I looked back, I saw when her head came out. But after once her head was free, I no longer looked.
Y'all want to know what I said after I gave birth? I said, is there any food? She said, oh, because it was 11 o'clock. Like, there's no,
she hasn't
nothing's
eaten.
open.
She can't eat once she gets the epidural.
Nothing was open in the hospital. And she's like, no, unfortunately, like, nothing's open. But I have TV dinner if you want one. I was like, yes, like, I'll take anything. And they gave me a TV dinner and water. Think that it was not that bad. Like, it's not something that...
From 1 to 10.
Okay, the contractions, no baby. 10, 11,
Remember,
1,000.
That can be different for every person.
It can be different, but for me, it was
for her, that's
horrible.
what was going on.
The contractions were really bad, obviously, because she was ready to come out. She was literally, I felt like down there was ripping out. She was trying to rip out like that and come out and start freaking walking. I was like, bro, it was so crazy. No, but the actual after the epidural, I was literally fine. Like, it was, yeah. So all of you women who give birth without epidural, and those of you that do give birth with epidural, because it's freaking crazy. Like, it's so crazy. Think about it. And look at this man's head. You think my baby head wasn't big? Ugh. Anyways, that was our experience. It was obviously a humbling experience for me. What do you think, babe? How was your experience as, the husband and the dad?
I mean, for me, more so, I think for the fathers or who are about to become fathers, it's more about just the support and the really taking up most of the time so that your wife or your girlfriend can like recover properly. And I think the biggest thing for me, what I wanted was to allow her to get out the house. So like when her mother and brother were here, I would just stay home with Sky and allow her that time away, because I don't know what her mindset is at the time, you know, and she's gone through a lot of stress and stuff like that with the baby. So I think for men out there who are playing the role as a father, really take that time to give to your wife, because during the whole pregnancy she's mostly stuck in the house and just eating. So for her to,
you know what, I like that you said that, because you know, when you have a baby, it really is all about the baby. You know, everybody's, how's the baby, your baby,
and no one thinks about the mom.
A lot of times the mom is like, they don't think about it, and I feel like it's not on purpose. It's just the excitement of bringing a baby into the world, and you know, so that's really, really cool that you said that. And I honestly feel like my postpartum has been really good to me because of the support of my husband and my family. So as of now, you know, the postpartum has been good to me, you know, mentally and physically, girl.
That is
because
a real thing.
It is a real thing, and it's
allow
crazy.
your wives or girlfriend to get away from, even though as much as they want to be there, just tell them like, you need to go. Like every time they went out, I just stood home with Sky.
But enough talking, guys. We just wanted to share a little bit of our experience giving birth to the most beautiful baby ever. She's 7 months, and she's 1 month today, and I don't like that, but whatever. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe,
and we'll see you guys in our next video. You're ugly.